This is the Tokyo Butter 23 sneaker channel. Tokyo Butter 23 no sneaker channel des. I bring you daily content every single day, reviews and upcoming sneaker releases. Mainichi absuru no de mainichi mite kudasai. And I try as much as possible to make these things as short and as fast as I can, but that's not going to be possible today because I'm not bringing you one, not two, not three, not four, not five, but 6 sneakers today because Adidas are dropping a Game of Thrones Adidas UltraBOOST 4.0 6-pack. As I said in the introduction, it's all about 6 Adidas UltraBOOST that are dropping for the Game of Thrones. I think it's the final season that's coming real soon, and the hype from that is hopefully going to help Adidas out because let's be honest, Adidas is not so hyped these last 6 months, and the hype has really been falling, and that is most notable if you ask me because the Yeezy Triple Whites that restocked here over 2 weeks ago are still sitting there almost a full run in the stores. The only size they don't have is mine, but I didn't want them anyway because I knew I'd ruin them within 5 seconds being all white. But the point is there that the hype in Adidas is not really flying at the moment. So maybe this Game of Thrones tie-up will help Adidas come back into the light. Now, a word about subscribers. I keep telling you guys, I've been saying it for a few days now, that the point of my channel, the reason I started my channel in December last year, just 2 months ago, was because I wanted to time it right to coincide with the Olympics that are coming in the summer of 2020. Next year's summer, about 16 months away, and I wanted to try and ride that wave. The way I was thinking about it, I was like, well, what's going to happen when the Olympics come to Japan? What can I do? What can I do to get on that hype? And what I thought about was the sneaker channel. I started it in December and it's been 2 months now, and I've been giving you daily content every single day. So please hit that subscribe button because by hitting that subscribe button, you help me grow towards that hype of Olympic 2020. Okay, let's talk about these UltraBOOST Game of Thrones that are coming real soon. Like I said, there are 6 different colorways that we're going to look at, and I want to take you through each one of those individually just to give you a quick look at the colorway and what they look like, with a couple of little interesting points about one particular accent on them. And then when I'm done looking at all 6, we'll get into some differences and similarities between them and where I see the quality and where I see the less than quality parts of these sneakers. So without further ado, let's get into the first of these sneakers. The first place that we stop is this House of Lannister colorway, which is red with a gold cage, as you can see from the screenshot up here. And the interesting thing that I said in the introduction there was about the tabs on the back of these sneakers. Now, UltraBOOST generally don't come with a tab on the back, but what they've done for all 6 of these is they've put a tab on the back which says something particular for each one of these colorways. And in the case of House of Lannister, it says, "Hear me roar." Getting into the next sneaker in the line, it's the House Stark sneaker. And the thing I really like about this is it is a grey colorway. It's very uniform all the way throughout. It is pretty much one single colorway from the top to the bottom, from the upper, the midsole and the outsole. But what that means is that midsole boost is colored in. It's something that I think Adidas didn't do enough of with the Adidas 4.0s before they dropped the less than stellar UltraBOOST 2019s. And I think they could have done more with colored midsoles. So I'm glad to see that this particular variation has that on it there. And this sneaker on its tab at the back has "Winter is coming" as the little tagline for the Game of Thrones. The next sneaker on the list is the House of Targaryen, which comes at us with this white upper and silver cage, and it's a fine looking sneaker, and it's one of 2 with these Targaryens because the next one as well is also Targaryen, and it has a particular tag on the back, and it's the only tag that's repeated twice. All the other sneakers have a unique tag to themselves, whereas this particular one has "Fire and Blood" emblazoned on the tag. And then when we get into look at the next one in the line, which is right here, it's the black and orange with the blacked out boost Targaryen dragons. And again, you've got that blacked out boost that I really like there. I'm not a huge fan of this 2-tone upper where the front is that kind of orange. I guess it reflects the fire, the orange and yellows, but the back is more black. I'm not a huge fan of that. But the Targaryen dragons one, as with the House Targaryen before, it has the same insignia on the back, on that tab at the back there, which says "Fire and Blood." And then the 5th sneaker in the line is a black and white colorway with a black cage, and it's the Night's Watch. And what's unique about the tab on this particular one is that it is actually the same name as the shoe itself. So whereas the Night's Watch Adidas UltraBOOST Game of Thrones, the tag on the back says Night's Watch on it. Then finally we get this white colorway with the black cage for the White Walker, and what it says on the tag here is winter is here. On the House Targaryen ones it said winter is coming, but for the White Walker ones it says winter is here. So there we've had a look at all 6 of them. There's a couple of things that I wanted to talk about in particular about these particular sneakers, and one of them was the House Stark one. If you look at the House Stark one, especially the cage, and we'll get a good look at that cage and the fabrics that the cage is made of, and if you have a real close look you can see there's high quality in the materials that the cage is made of, and that high quality is continued all the way through to the heel cup, the distinctive UltraBOOST heel cup, the distinctive UltraBOOST cage with those high quality materials. And I have to say, looking at those materials, I wonder why not more UltraBOOST 4.0 and 3.0s came out with these high quality materials. They did play around with leather a little bit and a couple of different sort of styles in their heel counters and the cages, but they didn't really kind of expand on it very much. And I think these House Stark ones are extremely high quality looking sneakers, and they really look good. Converse to that, you've got the White Walker ones, and exactly where the high quality is visible in the House Stark ones, I think the White Walker ones look extremely cheap, especially in that cage and that heel counter. Looking at the cage, you can see it looks almost plasticky and very sort of, I can't think of a better word than cheap. And then that heel counter, the heel cup around the back of the sneaker there, again, that plastic effect is continued, and it doesn't really work. On other variations in this 6-pack of Game of Thrones, some of them have that kind of textured heel counter, some of them have a very high quality material like the House Stark ones, but in the case of these White Walker ones, I don't really get the materials they use for the cage or the heel counter. I think they kind of look a bit cheap, and I think it's quite an interesting sort of I don't know what you'd call it, a difference between the highs and the lows, the high of the House Stark and the low of the White Walker for this pack of 6 Game of Thrones UltraBOOSTs. Looking at some further details out there as well, one of the great details, which is in most of these sneakers in white, but in the Targaryen Dragon ones in red, the insole actually says Game of Thrones on it, which I think is going to be a really big selling point for fans out there. Actually having the word Game of Thrones in the insole of these sneakers is going to be a really big selling point. On most, the insole is black with white writing on it, but on those red and black ones for the Targaryen Dragons, the actual writing is in red on that black insole. But a really nice feature, Game of Thrones written into the insole. Another interesting feature is if you look at the outsole of these sneakers, there's 2 different kinds. Now usually UltraBOOST come with a Continental outsole, and all 6 of these do come with a Continental outsole. Let's make no mistake of that. However, some of them come with a very thin outsole and others come with a chunkier, thicker outsole, which looks a little bit more durable. I'm not sure why they put different ones on different sneakers, but to me it's almost like I have a pair of caged UltraBOOST, what they call their green Trace Cargo, that's what they call it. I have these Trace Cargos with that thin sort of Continental sole on them. And the other one, the thicker sole, it kind of looks a little bit like sort of the Human Race, that thick kind of chunky outsole that they started using for the 2nd and 3rd iterations of the Human Race Pharoah Williams ones. So you've got that thin Continental outsole on some and that thick Continental outsole on the other. And again, colors are different. Some are white, some are black. The torsion system on some is white and black and different colors. And the Continental writing itself up the front as well. And some it's grey, some it's black, different colours there as well. So you've got different accents and different colours on the outsoles. And there you have it, that's my review of the upcoming release of these UltraBOOST 4.0s for Game of Thrones. They are really cracking looking sneakers. There must be, in these 6, there must be one sneaker that you like out there that you would like to get your hands on. I don't know if people are going to hype these guys. I don't know if the hype from Game of Thrones is going to get together with the hype from Adidas and take off, or maybe Game of Thrones has had its day and Adidas is definitely on a bit of a down, so maybe these could be a dud. I don't know. It's going to be really interesting to watch. We don't know when the release date is quite yet, but we do know that the season of Game of Thrones is going to start in around about April, so you can bet your bottom dollar to coincide with that, Adidas are going to release these UltraBOOST Game of Thrones variations. So keep your eyes peeled, look out for that release date, and if you're interested, get on it, but it will be definitely interesting to see whether the hype's there or not. For now, I have to check off and say thanks for checking in. It's been a great week in sneakers for me. The channel's growing, getting those subscribers, trying to catch that hype, trying to catch that wave for Olympics 2020. So if you are one to help a brother out, help me get those subscribers and get that boost that I need to get this channel up there and into the mainstream before the Olympics 2020 hype kicks in, which I'm sure will happen later this summer. So hit me up with a subscribe if you can. I'd really appreciate it. For now, it's time for me to check off and say thanks for checking in. But as usual, I will definitely be here tomorrow for another sneaker review about upcoming sneaker releases. For now, it's time to say thank you and farewell, and I will see you tomorrow. Thank you for checking in today, guys. I really appreciate your being here and viewing my content. Over here, we have the channel subscribe button. Channel登録ぜひお願いします. Over here, we have the video I recommend you watch next. こちらはおすすめです. And up here, we have a link to the channel introduction video. こちらはチャンネルのプロフィールのvideoです. Check them out. Clicking on them really helps the channel.